And I will set myself up for failure trying to relive now what was back then.
Welcome to Impact and Fulfillment with Coach Mike D, where you'll gain practical wisdom and dynamic insight from amazing conversations to live your best life.
What's going on, y'all? This is Coach Mike D with another episode of Impact and Fulfillment. And yo, dig this, man. Today's episode was inspired by something I saw recently on social media. One of my favorite groups from back in the day, one of the most iconic groups who honestly had one of the most iconic dance scenes in a movie, and I'll leave it at that for those that know, back from 1989. I recently saw a clip that was circulating on social media of them reenacting or reliving that dance scene, some 35 years later now, right? And I watched them reenact this dance that was so iconic from 1989, and it made me cringe, right? Now, again, we all age and we all get older and our bodies change and all of that. But the reality is there are some things in life that are distant memories that spark nostalgia, that make us feel good when we sit down and daydream about that moment. But those things, a lot of those things, need to stay where they are in the past as distant memories, as nostalgia, not as things that we need to recreate and or relive. Hear that again. Great moments of the past, things that sparked nostalgia, things that generated great memories, to be completely honest, don't always have to be relived. See, there's this natural tendency for a lot of us to attempt to recreate and relive amazing moments of the past, right? Like we have this time when we were in high school and we want to recreate that moment, or these memories that we have when we talk to our buddies from college and we want to get back together and recreate or reenact that moment, right? Or these memories or these visions that we have from back in the day in our early 20s when we used to do this and used to do that. We want to go to those same places and try to reenact those moments because they triggered such good memories for us. But some things that were in the past need to stay in the past and need to stay as distant memories. And they're not meant for us to relive, because we have to remember the moments are all encompassing, meaning all the things, all the other factors that are going on influence that specific moment. So when you were 19 and you had that amazing experience was a culmination of all the different inputs that were going on and all the people and the stage of life that they were at that specific moment. All of that culminated into that thing that's in your memory that you will never forget. But there's no way for you to accurately recreate that moment because all the conditions are now different. Hence, moments of the past, even amazing moments, don't always need to be relived. And again, this was sparked by seeing one of my favorite groups, with one of the most iconic dance scenes in a movie of all times, in my opinion, recreating that moment now. And it was kind of like, And for me, my first response or my first reaction was, I pray that everybody who sees this also takes a moment and goes to YouTube or some platform and seeks out the original scene that this moment recreates. Because if you see the moment now, it won't do it justice. So, and that was my personal opinion, because that dance scene was just so iconic to me. But to me, it was a lesson as it pertains to impact and fulfillment. I think a lot of us will struggle with generating the necessary impact in life if we're constantly chasing previous moments and we're chasing things of the past and trying our best to relive historical moments, because we don't have the current conditions and all the other ingredients to make those historical moments accurate, because it's no longer history. It's the present moment. Also, as it pertains to fulfillment, we ultimately are setting ourselves up for disappointment if we try to relive moments of the past. It's going to be hard to garner that same feeling of something from 30 or 40 years ago if you try to do it now. Because again, the conditions change and you're setting yourself up to be disappointed, which then could disrupt the level of fulfillment you would seek. I'm going to take this another level, and this is something that at times I struggle with, and it's relationships. Now, I'm married, so I'm not talking about romantic relationships, but even friend relationships or business relationships, or just people that, you've connected with and you think that you're tight, right? Like you all are really connected and you have a deep relationship. And then all of a sudden things start to change. And I at times struggle with trying to rekindle those former relationships or rekindle those friendships, because I like to hold on to things. But I have to keep this in mind as well. The conditions that created those relationships of the past, those conditions have changed as well. So I cannot try to recreate what was the jump off for the partnership, relationship, or friendship that I had in the past, because the conditions changed. And I will set myself up for failure trying to relive now what was back then. See, this is a principle, in my opinion, that applies across the board. And I think if we can allow distant memories, nostalgia, great history and, iconic moments, if we can allow them to live where they are, we can tell stories about them. We can, show clips of them, etc. But if we can allow them to live where they are as distant memories, I think that sets the stage for us maximizing our impact and fulfillment in this specific present moment that we have at our disposal. Because if we're honest about it, 20, 30, maybe even 40 years from now, maybe this moment that you're living has the chance to be one of those iconic memories that you look back on. And it won't be one of those iconic memories that you look back on if you take this moment and you disrupt the value of this moment by being so focused on trying to relive what was in the past. All right. Well, I hope this is something that y'all can resonate with, man. Hope this is something that, that makes sense. You know what? And I did not drop the name of the group. I think some of you all who are fans of, music and dance and hip hop and all can put two and two together. I was talking about Kid and Play and House Party and the iconic dance, the Kid and Play dance from House Party. That's what I was talking about. I didn't want to say the name because I didn't want to be disparaging, because literally that moment in that movie was so iconic for me. Like I still periodically go and, watch clips of that on YouTube, because it just generates so much joy because I can remember that moment. I remember going to sock hops. That's kind of dances and stuff we used to call back in the day, or elementary school dances and middle school dances and high school parties and stuff, and people doing the Kid and Play. Like that was the thing. And so when I saw the circulation of, them currently doing it in like slow motion, it was just like, oh, don't do that. Just sing the music, put a clip up or a video of what it was back in the day, talk about it, You know what I'm saying? Let people in the crowd do it. But fam, don't mess with the memories. We don't have to relive it. We just have to have access to go back and see it sometimes. All right. But anyway, y'all make sure to grab a copy of my book, The 33 Laws of Impact and Fulfillment. Follow Coach Mike D on Instagram, The Coach Mike D on TikTok. Follow at Coach Mike D on YouTube as well. Subscribe to my channel, please. And until next time, y'all be blessed, well, and wise. And I'll holler at you. Peace.
I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and follow Coach Mike D everywhere on social media. Y'all be blessed, well, and wise.